Well, folks, I hope you don't mind me looking like this. I'm just on my way to the gym. And you know how you have those moments where you sort of think, okay, things become really clear in your mind, clarified. And honestly, people, things are starting to look really, really bad around the world. You know, I do a lot of research. There's some people saying that things are going to change for the better soon. Nazara Gasara. On the other hand, the one world government or the elites, cabal, whatever you want to call them, they've probably got a stranglehold on the way our lives are going to look. Either or, I think a lot of countries around the world, especially Western countries, are going to experience a lot of civil unrest, violence, food shortages. You know, things have not come to this juncture by accident, by incompetence. They've been brought here purposely and in a focused manner. And yeah, I just think that Western countries are not set up for shortages, for disasters, for breakdown in services, breakdown in things like just electricity. You know, I mean, in developing countries, these type of inconveniences, however small or large, are just commonplace. So everyone's used to it, and everyone gets through it okay. I observed firsthand the 1998 Asian financial crisis, and it just never ceased to amaze me how people just got the way through it without turning to violence, without turning to any wholesale breaking and entering into houses, etc. There was, for about 2 weeks in Jakarta, a lot of rioting, and a certain minority were targeted. Now, just imagine that minority wasn't wasn't in the community. I don't think there would have been any of that type of violence, because they got a strong religious background, cultural background, and like I say, they're used to calamities or disasters or corruption. Anyway, in the West, we're not. We're just not. And we've also got a whole generation of complete and utter waste of spaces, unfortunately. It gives me no pleasure to say that, but really, anyone who's below 30 has got some serious, serious issues. They're just not going to survive what's coming. And they're also going to be a real danger to be around because they've got no skills. So they're going to, resort to the only thing that they know to keep getting food or whatever it is in short supply, and they're stealing it. And, I think older people, vulnerable people, are going to be at real risk. So, I've spent a lot of time in Asia. If you read on the website, www.tropicalretirementsolutions.com, I put in there some of the things that, the experiences that I've lived through. You've got to be quite flexible, nimble. But I really think it's even if nothing bad happens in the world, to retire in Southeast Asia would be a lovely, lovely option anyway. Now, I'm hoping that is the case, that it is a lovely option for people to do. But I've got a horrible feeling that in a lot of ways it's going to be probably one of the best ways for our elderly and vulnerable to stay safe and alive and not hungry. Now, the public law and order is really quite good. They do have political riots in a few of the Southeast Asian countries, but they're avoidable, you know. If you didn't live in, say, the middle of Manila or the middle of Jakarta or the middle of Bangkok, you probably wouldn't realise there was a hell of a lot going on when these political unrest is now. So safety, I think, is a much better option in Southeast Asia than it would be in, say, UK, France. France is looking bad. Germany, Italy, Spain, Greece, Eastern European countries, USA, Canada. You know, UK is just going to be, I think the UK is going to be a really, really challenging place, even for the young, to manage to survive there. So anyway, the crux of the matter is, I will get you to safety. I will find a good option for you, probably the best option in the world. You know, I've thought through things at length as to what our future is going to look like. I've been seeing this coming for a long time. You know, I observe things well, and you know, I've travelled the world a few times. I've lived, worked in developing and second world countries, and I just learn how people operate, what sets them off, you know. And I think Southeast Asia, the 6 countries on our website, I don't think you could beat them around the world. There might be some places in say the Caribbean, maybe, that might come close. Eastern Europe, but it's cold, you know, and I think there's more likelihood of there being war there. So yeah, Southeast Asia is probably about the best option in the world. And the other thing is, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than living in a Western country. So if you're on a fixed income, you're going to be much better off in Southeast Asia. So please, you know, like I say, I wasn't expecting to do this video. I just was thinking about it as I was driving, and then I've just arrived at the gym, which I'm sorely in need of. And yeah, all I can say is I'll do the best I can for you to make your loved ones get the best possible retirement, you know, and the safe, warm, affordable. That's really, if we can give you those things, then there's a good basis. Oh, and not forgetting, we can grow our own organic food in our retirement resorts. Okay, so if you like to grow flowers or whatever in your backyard, well, how about growing a crop of stevia or ginger, you know, chilies, anything that's a good high return for the square meter. And yeah, you might be able to augment your income. Okay, so there's a lot of positives. So anyway, send us an email, paradise@tropicalretirementsolutions.com. Cheers.